Welcome back, everyone, for our part 3 of our Wolfenstein game. We're going to finish it up this week. As I always do, I turn it over to the person whose game it is and let them take it away. And for that, it's going to be a Stone.
Moi. So, getting into part 3 of Wolfenstein: The New Order, starting with chapter 12 and the Gibraltar Bridge, and going all the way to the end. So, the very beginning of this.
How was that? What was that bridge name again, really quick?
Gibraltar Bridge. It's just really good to say it both together.
That's like a, what is it? That True Detective? That's like a True Detective character, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah?
Gibraltar Bridge.
Gibraltar
Bridge.
So at the very beginning of this, chapter 12, Wyatt or Fergus is flying us near the bridge where we need to drop that Diat Yeshud sphere. So once we get close enough, we end up tossing it out where the train is about to be. And it ends up floating there for a little bit, throws out a whole bunch of wires and hooks, and then spins around a whole bunch, pulling everything it was tethered to, which ends up destroying, taking out a giant chunk of the bridge, and luckily stops the train.
I'm sorry, I don't mean to, I won't do this every time. Again, the freaking nuance of these writers, that happens in this really cool cutscene where the thing moves around, it pulls, and BJ just goes, what have we done?
Yeah, what
right? Because
did I do?
Again, you live in this Nazi society where most people are terrible, but also not everyone is terrible. And you just took out a bridge and wrecked a train, and there's people on the bridge, and it was just the little bit of nuance that could be lost so easily in a boomer shooter when you're just running around killing everything.
Yeah.
Where your main character is like, what did I just do?
Yeah,
which was
you had to toss a sphere that I had no idea what I was going to do, and all of a sudden I destroyed this entire bridge and probably people that were on it.
Yeah.
Most likely were a bunch of Nazis, but still.
But you don't know. It was nice.
You could see in his face too that he's like, what did I just fuck? It wasn't like a what did I just do? It was like, what did I just fucking do?
Yeah.
I made it bad. And I think in one of these playthroughs, it depends on the Fergus or Wyatt. I know that Fergus will sit there and go to you like, you're just doing what you do, BJ. He's like, everywhere you go, there's a bunch of fucking destruction. He's like, you fucking did what you do. So after we get all that down there, we got to get on that train because there are some papers to get us into the lunar transport to get us to the lunar station. So they fly us close to the bridge, and here is where we get out and make our way to the dangling train. Now that we are out in the open, there are a lot more rocket launcher enemies, and we get the upgrades for our assault rifle to give us ourselves our own little rocket launcher. Nice little attachment. Love that attachment. Also, we get the scope for the laser craft work. I tried using this a couple times, didn't use a whole bunch myself just because it uses so much of your energy out of there, but you can get a bunch of shots off at once, which is really nice.
I like this gun.
Yeah, it was a good one. As we blast our way through, we go down to where the train is, fall down onto a Nazi, grab the papers, and have a quick edit as we are already in uniform as Caroline's going over the plan. So,
Killing Nazis.
In a fancy uniform, we're taking the shuttle to the lunar base as that scientist guy. Our main objective here is to get the nuclear codes for the U-boat. So they let us through part of the way, but from here we got to go to get our equipment from the luggage area. And I did notice that one of the enemies, because they let you through because you look like you're one of those Nazi scientist guys. And you go to crawl through the chute for the luggage. It's like, what's that scientist guy doing? They kind of just let you fuck off. And I'm like, you just gonna let me crawl through there? All right, cool. Why we're not going through this entire area with that suit on just to get the codes? Maybe they thought that we would get spotted. Who knows?
To be fair, we live in a society in this game where, depending on how you're dressed, if you're higher ranking, they might be scared to ask you what you're doing.
Yeah,
sure, for sure.
Just get murdered.
Yep. So they let us through part of the way, but from here we get our equipment. Here we will get also the laser attachment for the marksman rifle, which ended up being one of my favorite weapons continuing on through this run. It uses the same type of energy that your other gun would, but it's not a shared energy. So you do have to make sure to switch to that marksman rifle to get that energy back up. But I use this one a lot. It's an incredible gun. Here, I actually made it most of the way by stealth. So you're making our way through the Death Star air ducts. What's that?
So I don't believe you.
Well, I got some footage for you. Feel free to watch along as when I release this. But yeah, I did actually make it through a good chunk of the way through stealth. Like I said, I'm playing on easier difficulty, and B, they do kind of line you up to like, hey, this is if they want you to stealth, there are going to be nice pathways, and a lot of times the guys will just be facing away from you through that as well. Yep, I did mention that we're making our way through the Death Star air ducts. Oh, I'm sorry, I mean Lunar Base air ducts. They just have those, like, it's that long, thin oval shape that is on all the Star Wars, like, Imperial ships. It's on there for a reason, because they're all.
I mean, in
Nazis.
fairness, I was
they were
going to
all
say
the
the
Nazis,
Empire
so
is...
it's stormtroopers and all. That's remind yourself why they're called stormtroopers. So yeah, we make our way through there. We even get more of Ramona's diary through here as well, and we'll touch on that closer we get towards the end. To get to the building with the codes, we now need to do some moonwalking. This is a short little section on here. You get into a little astronaut suit and you do a little moonwalking. I love the audio change on here. Makes everything very deafened, even if you were trying to take out the drones. Which, by the way, I also stealth past these drones. It only is that once you get down to that door and you press the door button, that just alerts all of them anyways.
I just ran past them.
Yeah, I mean, you just go down the left side. They
Yeah.
don't pay attention to you. You can do some more sneaking and more shooting as we take a lift up to the central building area. And this is where I got caught. Because you come up in the middle of this section, which is like a circular area with multiple levels, and someone ended up seeing me. I think I tried to shoot someone or throw something, and it didn't hit him. But they knew where I was, so that was fun. So I go through there, do a whole bunch of killing Nazis, and we go print out our nuclear codes. From here, we make our way back to the hangar with the base now on high alert. As we go through, we get the last entry in the diary and find out that it's not only Ramona's diary, but also Anya's as well. She pretty much just kind of recounts the last kind of entries to make it a little more obvious when they start talking about Death's Head's people coming into the asylums and taking people and how pissed off she is. But you can kind of see how some of the previous entries may have been talking about how it was someone like her longing for someone like BJ. So it was a nice little kind of round out on that, and some really fucked up stuff happening through those diaries as well. Mm-hmm. So we get a tram to take us to the hangar. So a little shoot we go through, and just as we get to the other side, a big mech pops up and shoots at the tunnel. Again, we get out of this little tunnel tramway and we shoot our way through, taking out some UBA soldiers and hijacking a ship about to leave. But they also sent out that we were coming. Klaus comes on the radio. He knows we're coming too. So he lets us know to aim and land at the parking lot. London Nautica is already aware that we're on our way and starts firing us a little bit. And we end up crashing onto what looks like a bridge or a street. As we wake up, stuck in the craft, because there's no way to exit it right now, it just gets shot the hell up. I tried to take out some guys here. I thought there might have been like kind of freaking out, looking around, and I didn't notice that, yeah, they're just going to go ahead and bombard that vehicle, that shuttle. And as soon as they bombard it, it starts falling off the bridge. That's where BJ just tells himself to run. And we jump out the back, grab onto a little bit of rope, which ends up, or a wire on the bridge, that ends up sending us straight into the nautical building, right into a Nazi as we shove him against a wall. Mm-hmm. Which I thought was a fun touch. By the way, I don't know if we were keeping count, but this is probably one of the games that has the most concussions in it. There's even spots to where you're scared of getting punched and you can see like you're just losing consciousness a little bit. Like, BJ's been through a lot. So as we go into the nautical building again.
But again, he has the healing property of his hatred of Nazis.
He does have that hatred of Nazis magic. So we are going through the nautical building again, shooting and doing some light platforming down the side of the building. As we go through there, we end up taking out a helicopter, Max Payne style. So just outside the building, we start shooting down the helicopter and continue our way all the way down to the parking lot. Here, we are met with what they call a London monitor. So if you remember at the very beginning when we kind of stormed the beaches of Death Head's compound, there were those big giant Tesla monster mechs. This one is the one, I guess, that is just overseeing the entirety of London. Big oppressive robot. So it's a big giant walking mech with machine guns, rocket launchers, flamethrowers, and a giant eye laser. Here we'll be kind of hiding in some of these tunnels on this exposed parking lot. Just kind of taking them down. Didn't feel like it was too difficult of a boss battle. If he tries to start shooting at you with his kind of eye laser, you shoot it, kind of give him a little bit blinded. He opens up the rocket launchers on the shoulder. You start taking those out as well. Once you get the rocket launchers down, you will be doing the same thing with the eye laser, but you will also be wanting to take out underneath him. So there's like a little ventilation area where you can shoot up in hit the engine, and I think I just did like twice, and I brought him down.
You're definitely shooting rockets up its booty hole. That is.
Yeah. Well, I didn't shoot
exactly
rockets
what's
because I was
happening.
right there. I just shot with a laser gun. But yes, you are shooting right at the pooper to get him to knock down.
Yes,
For
you
sure.
are.
You
Christian,
are.
You're giving
It's
a
a little
bad look.
booty
What
hole
are
on
you
it.
doing?
Yep.
It is.
It's a little
It
abdomen.
is.
I know
Yep.
it's just you never. It's and I know what it is, but the way you're saying is like BJ is in there being like, he says it. He says shoot him in the asshole, and it's just not what happens.
No, it's not. Once they are all out, we will stun the eye once again. Yep, go underneath. And once we take it down, we get a flashback of Deathhead's compound when he had us choose in the beginning again. We wake up a little bit. Klaus drives up, grabs our body, and tells us we're getting in the car. From here, we are getting shots of Berlin, or getting radio frequency messages that Berlin HQ is under attack. They are overrun with the Nazis and are being led by Frau Engel, who was the lady with the jacked up face in the prison. We see her find Anya, M. Bombate, and Set, and the others are either hidden or were captured. We cut to a scene where we have some soldiers down beyond a bridge. We hear the car coming, and Klaus drives that car off the bridge directly into most of those Nazis. He doesn't get all of them, though. Klaus gets shot pretty bad once we're down the ground, and before we are killed by that same Nazi, Max comes out and just grabs a dude by the head and just smashes him against the other vehicle. He just starts wheeling around, taking out more Nazis, and we get out of the car as well. We end up protecting him as he is getting Klaus out of the car. Max opens up a sewer door, and I thought we were all going in, but he just shuts it behind us, and you hear him yelling in the distance as well. And then BJ gets up a little "Oh, Max" as we continue on through the sewer to get to the HQ. Here we take the sewer back to Berlin HQ, where we are in there. We can take out the remaining Nazis, but we need to get to the hangar so we can leave with Wyatt/Ferguson and Caroline to work out a plan to save the rest of them. As we go through, you will get a little scene in the vent where either Jay or Tekla will help pull you through the vent, but we'll end up having a last stand with some of the Nazis on the other side. They do not come with you. So, a special character that we all got for choosing a certain person, that person is now gone.
Which doesn't make... That was the only thing that didn't make any sense. Like, the scene was fine. I had no problem with it, right? But, like, it's literally like, hey, come with us. And he's like, I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to make it this time. They're all out there, but it's fine. Like, I'm going to play my guitar real loud and the national anthem and let them know. Like,
my last stand, yeah.
It's my last stand, but it's like, we could easily have just opened this vent and you could come through, but no, he just shuts it on us and stand and just like, okay. I mean, I didn't have a problem with it. I just thought, like, you could have been saved. Was my only thought.
I think this is the game going. We're not going to continue these special characters onto the second game. So easy way just to have them have their last stand here. And both of them have pretty good ones. I mean, like the one you said about Jay is pretty good. He's like, I'm just going to make my last stand. He's got all those amps behind him. He turns it all up to 1,000 and just starts playing the Star Spangled Banner. And it goes a zoom out to the rest of the city, and you can hear the song out there as well. They bust in and take him down. Same kind of thing with
I think the whole point. To me, it felt like it was like I'm just causing a delay so that you guys can make it farther.
Sure, a little more of a
maybe, yeah.
Tekla kind of has the same beginning part of it, but this one she thanks us for helping her learn how to shoot that gun in that one cutscene. She had developed some type of equation to where if everyone worked together and killed 19 Nazis, then we would get rid of the Nazis. So she's like, to keep to my formula, she's like, I've already taken down 11 at the beginning. She's got like 11 bodies just piled up in the back of that room. And she's like, I took down 6 or 7 other ones. She's like, I got to have like at least 2 under my belt to do my part. So she's like, you're going to go. And the dudes open the door just like with Jay, but she takes out a couple of them and one of them ends up finishing her off.
I'm just going to say we made the right choice because as Tekla sounds fine, Tekla sounds like she sucks. Like, I just...
She's a little bit of like a genius, crazy person type of deal. I think her cutscene with us teaching her to shoot, like if you picked Fergus, I thought that was a really heartfelt moment. I thought that was really good about it. But for the most part, I enjoyed Jay much better for sure.
It's like if everybody out there takes out 19 Nazis, we'll be able to do it. It's like, sure, but what about the person that gets taken out on their fourth? Well, now everybody has to take out
you gotta make sure
19
they
and
just collect
1/8
you.
Nazi. Like, it just shit adds up, man. So like, instead of doing your last stand, why don't you take out more? But
She knows BJ as making up for those numbers in a lot of
we
ways.
made the better decision
I
with the
think we
characters
do.
we
I think
saved.
we agree.
Yeah.
Man, I cannot wait for the second game, dude. Like,
Yeah, see where it goes
when
with
we
it.
eventually get there.
Mm-hmm.
There's just some stuff with
No, you know
Wyatt
that's
in
right,
that
yeah.
game that I know that you guys don't know, but I'm just like, God damn it, I can't wait.
Yeah. In the end of this game has a pretty good, not really change, but like what happens. But yeah, we'll continue on from here. Tekla RJ getting knocked out. As you do drop down the vent a little bit, you can take out those other soldiers that went into that room. So I'm sure we all did. We go through a bit more of the sewer to get to the helicopter. We fall in front of 2 huge Nazi mechs. And right before they take us out, someone comes in, fly kicking the mechs out of nowhere. And it's Caroline in the Diet Yeshud suit. At first, I was sitting there, I'm like, I kind of saw at the corner of my eye, I saw someone like, wah! I kind of fly through. I'm like, what the fuck? What's going on here? Like, who's the ninja? And then she drops down that mech suit. I'm like, it's the mech suit. It's Caroline. I'm like, oh shit, yeah, she's in the mech suit. That's awesome.
I'm such an asshole. When this part happened, I just went like, I thought the same thing. That's cool. That's fine. But also went like, hello. Imagine the work I could do with this suit. Like,
right.
Hello. Why don't
Also,
you pass it
somebody
on
who can't
over?
walk can now walk, which is really nice. As the leader of this resistance. So not the worst choice in the world, to be fair. But yes, BJ could do a lot of fucking shit with that suit.
Yes.
As she takes out those guys and lets us know about what's going on right now, we do need to take out a big hellhound. Just shoot with a bunch of rockets or lasers, you'll be just fine. Jump into the helicopter, and we can get back to the captured U-boat with the codes. And right here we found that Max makes it back as well, which is a nice little turnaround. Unfortunately, Klaus, even though he's with us, did not make it. So once at the U-boat, BJ has another dream. This time, it's the kind of same one we had at the beginning, but we get a little more of a zoom out at the whole backyard barbecue, and it's Anya who's out there cooking with a whole white picket fence American dream scenario. Nice thing that he says is like it's nice to have these dreams because it kind of reminds him what he's fighting for, type of deal. He wakes up and we go over the plan. We are to shoot the orb device at the castle, storm it to get the prisoners out, and once they have picked them up, we will hit the compound with the nuke. The codes we have. We start in a scuba suit to get into the U-boat's to the U-boat's cannon. Once we get close to Death Head's compound, we surface and fire the cannon, which shoots out that Yat Yeshud sphere and rips the side of the castle off. And we start from the bottom. During this, Deathhead is talking shit over the comms as we shoot our way through a ton of enemies and see some spines with brains attached in the labs. We get to one of the offices in there, trying to go up to the vent. But before we go through the vent, Frau's boy toy jumps on top of us, surprises us, and hits us with a strong sedative. He gets...
I hate this guy.
Yeah,
Bobby.
Booby. He gets on the cam with Frau and shows us as a gift. She has him start to cut us up slowly, but we end up breaking a bit from the sedative and biting off a piece of what I assumed was his ear, and then killing him with the knife.
She's not happy.
No, she's not very happy. I mean, I sat there kind of to see what she would say, because I figured she would say something to me on that webcam, but she's just like, oh, and like slowly walks off.
She does just do that for a long time.
Yes, she does that for quite a while, too, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So after we kill him, we continue on through. We're a bit fuzzy from the drugs, but make it to an elevator and find Anya and the others have already started to escape and find you. I find this is a little funny part because like, oh my god, it's you, and like you're falling over because like you're kind of passing out from the sedative. Like, oh, we're so glad you're here. Let's get out of here. And they all just kind of run past you. I'm like, bro, I'm still like half dazed on the floor from these drugs. Can I get like a shoulder or some shit? Like, goddamn, I know I'm a big dude, but give me something. But yeah, we get on the elevator with everyone else and starts to malfunction after we get everyone else back off of it. And there's a nice little sweet moment to where Anya's like, hey, I believe there's a place where we can all like, live and be happy. He's like, I believe there's a place too, but it's not for you and me. And that's when the elevator kicks up and starts taking us back up. All right, BJ is ready to get Death's head. Elevator opens up to a safe room. He shows us he still has, and Death's Head's on the other side. Obviously, it's all bulletproof. So he goes through a bunch of dialogue saying how he knows us. And in the background, he has a bunch of these jars, and one of them has Fergus or Wyatt's brain in it. Here we get a flashback at the actual shitty torture that happened as we were after we made the decision. Which, as you remember, those bodies were all kind of crinkled up a little bit, and their backs were opened up. Obviously, whoever you choose, their back is being opened up. Obviously, get rid of the spine, and a weird drill goes in the back of the head and just sucks the brain right back out of it. It's not how brains work. It probably still won't work after that. But either way, we're in a sci-fi fantasy thing. That's fine. They get put on one of those medical beds, sucks out the brain, and now he will use the brain to operate this new mech warrior he has invented. So the intelligence of a human, but no willpower, pretty much.
This was just like the wildest cap off to all the gruesome stuff you've seen in this game. Where it's like, oh, this man he's telling you his plan about this mech as he's standing in front of a wall of fame of hundreds of brains in jars.
Sucking out, yeah.
That's...
To be fair, some of the stuff that Nazi scientists were coming up with back in the day of like what they wanted is not like... It's not like it's a giant leap in logic from what they...
No. I want to put a brain in a robot that we have, yeah.
Right.
I mean, you're right. We don't need to get eugenics and other stuff, but like they were taking out eyeballs of people for colors to see if they could change the color, and it's terrible. So it's not far, but like we've seen gruesome stuff in this game, but a lot of it's been like
nothing
robotic.
Along this
was,
line.
this is just
drilling out the back of the hole while Ferguson all fucked up, eyes are out, and fucking spine is pulled out. Jesus Christ, it's a lot. It's a lot.
It was a lot.
All right, so we try to leave the room.
Makes you want to punch a Nazi.
It makes you want to punch. Makes you want to do more than just punch a Nazi. So we try to leave the room, and for us, Fergus Robot grabs us by the gun and punches us out into the arena. Here we are left with only our knife, and we can find some grenades out in the arena. From here, we use those grenades to stun the mech, so we can run up there and talk to the brain inside the mech. So both as far as the deaths, both are for death. So they don't have to live this way and killing machine with no well. We grab the brain and melt it with the laser craft work. I would say I watched both of these endings because the person I'm doing the walkthrough for my notes, they have the Fergus, they have the one where they chose Wyatt. And that one to me, for some reason, just killed me a little more because he's like, you did your best, Private. It's like, it's still an 18, 19-year-old brain in that mech's body and just like asking to die. Hits a little more when you got Ferguson there and telling you, he's like, we did our best. He's a soldier. He's like, just let me die. And it's, for some reason, the Wyatt one just hit me so much more as far as like it really, really hit the heartstrings in that one. All right, so we have either killed Wyatt or Ferguson in the brain from that mech, and as we do so, Death's Head rises from the middle with his own mech suit. Here we have to run from the shots as he will just get shields from the airships up there, grabbing lightning from the storm. It took me a minute to figure it out because I just tried to lay into him at first, and then he's like, "Oh, you'll never stop me! I'm harnessing the power of Odin." And I'm like, "Okay, well, we gotta stop that." So I run around the air arena a little bit. I see the big guns. I'm like, okay, we got one of them. Shoot the big airship. I'm like, okay, we're gonna have to do this for the second one. You do that for the second one. Once you get those two airships down, he can no longer recharge his shield. So from here, you're just unloading into him. Rockets, lasers, grenades, whatever you want to use to take him out to finish off phase one. Because he'll just start this big orb explosion, kind of give like a little a blast effect, make the screen go white, and then you can hear him down underneath as you see the forge broken up a bit. All right, and once you go down to the second phase underground, kind of the same thing. You're just going to want to unload into him. There's a nice little charge stations here and there, but there are going to be flames kind of coming out of the pipes underneath, so you kind of want to be careful about those. Didn't really do too much for me, but I'm assuming harder difficulties. Those flames will probably do a lot more damage to you for sure. Here again, just hit him hard enough, get him in that stun/execute phase, if you will, and you'll be able to run up to him. So at this point, you break off the front cockpit of the mech. He ends up dragging himself out of the mech and says he'll never kneel to us. BJ says, "Fine, I'll gut you standing." And as we stab him, he says we are gullible and lets off our grenade in the other hand. We come back to, see Death's Head's all fucked up on the side of the mech, and we end up crawling to a window as the prisoners we see the prisoners making it to the helicopter. We keep hearing over the radio, just let us know when it's time to use clear. Let us know when it's time to shoot it. We see the helicopter go off, and we tell them the launch is clear. BJ says you're clear, and we just get credits. You don't get to see the nuke hit the tower, nothing like that. This is just the end of the game. There is no different endings. There is no after credits scene. It just stops here. So, how do we feel about part 3? Roll it into how you feel about the entire game, and if you want, give yourself a rating.
Yeah, okay. So I'll go first because Christian's played this game.
Yes.
So the gameplay was still fun. Shooting Nazis was still fun. Like the guns, like all the levels. I think it built up well, crescendoed well. I didn't realize that clearly they were like, this is going to be a multi-game series, like reboot.
They did not say this at the beginning, so that was not. They have said now, like during that No Clip documentary, that they've always planned for it to be a trilogy. But to be clear for everybody, that was not that. Like they had not publicly said that anywhere.
Well, I get they didn't publicly say, but like they introduce a big bad that they let go that you don't finish off with.
I just mean
whatever.
right. But at the time, like people could think like maybe it's going to be a DLC, like right. But there was no like a sequel
That's fair.
plan.
That's true. That's true. Could have been a DLC at the time. So they definitely had plans with it. I liked that. It's interesting, and maybe it's just the way we played it, like in chunks, weekly, so on. It felt as though like I kind of forgotten about the Death's Head until further towards the end, when the woman like Booby and her and she like they were gone, and all of a sudden like we're at Death's Head Island. I was like, oh yeah, like he kind of kicked a lot of this off. But like we've been so focused on this woman and the camp and like doing stuff to just disrupt the Nazi regime in general that like I kind of forgot Death's Head specifically was like who we were going after. So I wasn't disappointed by any means, but like it again, it might have been the way we played, but there was an interesting pacing thing where
kind of
the game was
and came back to Death's
the
Head.
game. The game was like pacing. It was like at 11 all the time. There's always action, so it wasn't a problem like pacing per se. But they did throw enough at you at the beginning and introduce enough stuff that you kind of forgot what our main mission was until like we came back to it. I liked the final fight. I thought all of that was fine. I as a whole, like I thought it was good. I don't know with like the ending. It ended quickly,
very abrupt,
and very abrupt. It wasn't
the same
as much.
thing happened with a lot of chapters too. Like it would end a chapter like the Gibraltar Bridge one. Like you end that, you get the thing. It's like cut. We're on Gibraltar Bridge. Like it does not like sit around and do a whole lot of dialogue to you very often unless you go to HQ.
No, but it was a very.
Mission.
But it was a very cutscene heavy game, and I feel
like
we could have deserved more for an ending. And maybe they did it because like with the nuke going off, they didn't know where they were going to go with the next game or if there was going to be a next game, right? So maybe it's like we don't want to show too much. Like you're left to the interpretation that BJ died, so we can't really do much more.
So sequel.
It just, it felt a little. The very end of it was a little underwhelming, and then with BJ killing Death's Head, I was a little underwhelmed too because it's just we've done so much to fight these Nazis, and he's such a terrible person we've seen, and things he did to our own friends just to stab him twice in the or 2-3 times in the chest, and like I don't know what else you could do, and you can't be that graphic because we're supposed to be better than them. It's just this weird dichotomy of like what the game felt like it was building to then like is there anything you can do to really pay it off that's not like so bad and so graphic that turns you into the bad guy? Maybe not. So I think they did a good job at balancing, but it was just like I feel like there was something a little left for me, like wanting a bit more there at the very end.
See that?
As a whole, I thought the game was good. Like I liked it. I'm excited to see where it's going in the next installments, and I had fun this entire playthrough. But there were just some things I was left questioning. But as I'm talking about it out loud right now, because again, like we just finished this like today, yesterday, right? Yeah. Between, so like. But as I'm talking about it, I don't know that like I would have done it differently because I don't know what you could have done differently that again doesn't just make you equally as bad.
And that's kind of how I felt.
And that's
about
a tough
bosses,
thing to balance.
Is that like okay, you had to put him in a mech suit as far as like Death's Head because like what are you gonna do to fighting this old fucking man? Like you're gonna destroy him. Same thing with like Frau. It's like you're gonna destroy those people. They have to be in something or doing something that makes them a bigger boss in the end. Or you're gonna end up just doing what we did and just stabbing him. You got him out of the mech and just gave him stab. He's like, fuck you, you're dead. I think there would have been more to that if he didn't pull out the grenade.
It's it's you see this in TV shows too. Like for those people out there that watch like the original Game of Thrones, right? Like Game of Thrones did this really good thing where they had some of the worst villains in TV show history. Like people had a visceral reaction to the actors that played Joffrey and what's the other guy, the kid, right? The bastard. But anyway, like. They were so bad that we were watching the show and you're like, I want them to die. I don't know how I want them to die, but I know I want it to be painful, right? But like also, I don't know if there's any way you could kill him that would make me feel happy.
Yeah, that's
the same thing that you feel building up because it truly is like it's not just the hatred for these enemies for the things they've done in the game. Like you're actually bringing like real life historical trauma into it, where you're like, I hate all of these people, which is why you can do the things in this game that you do and be okay with it and have fun with it. But you're like, I want them to all die a painful, terrible death, but also like, can you really show that in a video? Probably not.
Like
so I think they handled it as good as they could.
Joffrey had a really bad poison death. Like that was a brutal fucking death when you saw it.
Yeah.
Like, and then you're like, feels good. It's horrible to see a kid die of poisoning. Like I'm sure, but like when you were seeing it on TV and you're like, you hate Joffrey so much, you're like, fuck this kid. Fuck him. He's getting what he deserves right now. A horrible, fucking, painful death. Humiliating in front of everybody.
Yeah. So I liked it. Rating. I hadn't thought about the rating until now. I would probably give this a 4.25 out of 5. I think that's fair. We do 2.5s, don't we? Or do we only do halves?
No,
we certainly don't.
Yeah. It's either a solid or a 0.5.
Then I'll give it a solid 4. I thought there were so many good things about it. I thought the story was really good. I don't know that it innovated on a boomer shooter in a way that would be like, this is the best of those games.
Oh, I disagree.
Do you think? Okay. And that's fine, right? Like maybe at the time it did. But when you look at it now, I don't know that like it's a 5 out of 5 or anything for me, but a 4 to 4.5, I think is pretty fair for this game. That's
whatever you want it to be is fair.
Yeah, it's really good. Yeah. It's really good. I had a lot of fun with it. I thought the music was incredible. I couldn't talk more about the nuance of the writing that I think this team balanced so well for a Wolfenstein game. Like I didn't see that coming. So I'll give it like, I'll say this now. This game will probably be one of those things that deserves, like at the end of our 2026 testies, like probably deserves like biggest book club surprises. Unfortunately for it, it's the first game we play this year, so we will forget a lot of that by the time it comes around next December. But I'll say it like this game probably deserves a call out then, because it was a big surprise for me, who has never played this series. So I'll give it that.
Yeah. So I'll go 4.5 on it. I'm only leaving when I first played this, I thought it was a 5 out of 5. I only am knocking it down because I like the sequel that much more that it feels weird to do like double 5s. But to your point, Alex, I think that you don't know this because this is your first time going through it, and also, but this game had a extremely like tumultuous development throughout its entire life cycle. That Machine Games.
I need to watch the No Clip documentary because I'm assuming they talk about it in there. I'll watch it this week.
They were barely sure that Microsoft wasn't going to kill them in the middle of this game, period, let alone the 13 people that they had being able to make this game. And they were working back and forth between, they're sending shit from them in Sweden or Denmark, wherever they're at, swinging all the way to Texas with id, and then bouncing that back to Bethesda, and then back and forth. Like, it's just kept going. Like, there would be things that they would do, like the Machine Games would make a change. They would think that this is cool, and they're like, yeah, let's do it. They would send it to id. id would get it. They're looking over it. And this is months, by the way. This is like months of time, right?
Yeah.
id is like, hell yeah, that looks amazing. Keep doing it. They send that to Bethesda. Somebody at Bethesda's like, no.
Sure.
And it gets sent back. But by that time, it's 3 months of work that's already... So it's like, well, what do you want me to do? Like, I'm already so far past what... Like, it's wild. And honestly, NoClip is an amazing place just to figure out, like, how the fuck video games get made anyway, as far as, like, AAA stuff, because you're like, how do you guys even make a single decision? Like, I would... Yeah. But anyway, I would go 4.5 on it. When I first played it, I thought it was a perfect... I was like, I want nothing else from this. Like, I thought it was great. I have to knock it down because the sequel improves. I do agree. There are some moments where it feels like it's a little like disjointed as far as like some of the hard cuts that happen. But overall, I think from a perspective of reviving a franchise that was essentially dead, like no one in the year, what was it, 2017 when this came out, no one was ever sitting around being like, Wolfenstein needs to come back or whatever. Like,
and honestly, from those old school like computer games of like the Wolfenstein and Doom, like I know plenty of people that played Doom back in the day, and I've had friends that had Doom on the computer. Like, check this game out. I never experienced Wolfenstein. Like, I don't think
I knew people who had played Wolfenstein, but it was, again, it's like...
It wasn't as popular as Doom at the time.
Well, it was before. It was proto Doom anyway.
Okay. Got it.
But again, similar to Doom 2016, so this was 2014 actually, now I'm thinking about it, because Doom 2016 was after this. But you have this this stuff where Wolfenstein, just like with Doom, you're working off nothing. Like, Death's Head Castle was a thing, and like that was like a part of, and then Castle Wolfenstein, like all that stuff. Like, that was a thing, but other than that, like, you really kind of fucking had like the most nothing. You knew your character's name was BJ Blazkowicz, and that was basically it. Yeah, period. That's it. And so they have to come up. So them like building out this whole thing, and like we've talked about in the previous episodes of how they extrapolated like what it would look like with all of this architecture and everything from the art and all of it. Like, it's so good. I love it. I think that much like, I'll say Doom 2016 specifically, there is a certain personality that the main character gets. In Doom, it's all ambient, right? Like, you're hearing it being talked at you about what the Doom guy has done. And with this, in BJ, you're hearing it in his inner thoughts and also seeing it in his actions and stuff. There is a personality that's created with this character and all the other characters around that I just think is so incredibly well done. I mean, like, Alex, to your point, like what you were talking about last week, I think, but like there's the scene obviously where, they're going back and forth about, you go back home, like, you're the Nazi, you're the issue, blah, 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 second to BJ. And you can see it in BJ's face in that, or when there's that cutscene happen where BJ's like, it's so funny to watch a character who is so singularly focused also have nuance. Like, in that moment, he's like, no, but I kill Nazis. And it's like, yeah, no, I get what you're saying. Like, I know, and that's awesome that you do that so well right now. But like, and then he's like, no, I get it, but I want to go kill Nazis right now. And you're like, yeah, no, I get it, but it still is done in a way that like comes out with understanding at the end of it. Like between all the characters.
Yeah. And
BJ you watch him more or less like grow, but also still stay the same in a way. Like, he has those moments, like Preston, you were saying earlier, the moment in the elevator with Anya where he's like, there's a place for people, it's not for you and I, and like that kind of thing. But so there's like a growth moment there of him reconciling the fact that he's pretty sure he's not going to make it out of here and like all that other stuff, right? But at the same time, like, there's no greater joy that BJ can have than killing a Nazi, right? Like, it's just so funny to watch them take a single-minded character that had no characterization whatsoever in the original games, and then being like, oh no, here's like a fully fledged character built around still this same core funny idea from a DOS game. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. And nobody would have been mad if you didn't characterize them, right? Like, no, everyone would be like, it's Wolfenstein game, but you did take that extra step and say, like, look what we can do with these people.
It was so extremely well done. And This is one of my, what I would say like is an all timer. I love going back to this game was incredibly fun.
Good.
And I'm excited to go through the rest of them now.
Awesome.
I'll land it at 4.5. I think it's great.
Okay.
Yeah.
Me personally, I've heard of this game plenty. I knew that people rave about this game, and I do like these type of games. I thought that the writing totally blew my expectations. The presentation, I'm just making it more of like a Guy Ritchie, Tarantino kind of, we're fucking up Nazis kind of like heist almost.
Without the foot fetish part, yeah.
Yeah, without the foot fetish parts. But it's done so extremely well and more than I think it even needed to be. But I love that it did. All these characters, all like the backgrounds you get on them with Max and Klaus, with what you get with Anya and her backstory with even the diaries that she's reading through some of those levels. Just really, really well done. And then just tossing something like Bombay, who like doesn't show up very often, but has plenty of personality, and you know, you do still love the character. If something were to happen to him, you feel bad about it. I think the side characters and the splitting of the timelines is an interesting idea. I think I will still give this a 5 out of 5. Trying not to think of even how Christian's saying the next one's better, because that could try to sway me a little bit. But I don't want to bring it down to a 4.5, but I think there's some things that might like toss it in between. So I'm just going to give it that 5 out of 5. I think some of like those like edits and those little jumps between some of those levels were a little bit abrupt. Kind of like tossed you out of whatever you were going through emotionally or just like vibes from one level and then just completely turning that 360 within, you know, just 10 seconds. Mm-hmm. And then the ending too, where it's like, I kind of get it. You know what's happening. You know what's going to happen to a point. And you don't know that there's going to be a sequel until like obviously now we can kind of look at it and go like, oh, there's going to be a sequel. So I kind of understand like, you know, the dead cut. But if I were to play this when it first came out and didn't know anything about a sequel or anything like that, I'm like, I'm assuming that we're just going to say that BJ's dead. And if that they get an opportunity and approval or greenlit for the sequel, then we'll have this little gray area to where we didn't show his death and we can bring him back for the sequel type of deal. But yeah, just a very abrupt ending. Kind of wanted a little bit more out of Death's Head. Like maybe you kill Death's Head in a more satisfying way, but then Frau is the one who somehow keeps you on that island. Something like that. But it just...
And I think my problem there too, when I think about it, is like they're like, hey, we ended BJ's story, right? Like the bomb goes off, his story is ended. And it's like, well, I want to know, did what we did make it easier for the resistance to fight? Like, I want to know more. What happens with Anya when she saved all those people? Like, what's their ending to this game? And the developers are like, well, the game's BJ's game. And it's like, yes, you are right. However, you characterized everyone so much. I feel like I need to know a bit more. And that was my only thing with it. Like,
you want to. You just want it.
Yeah, I want to know. I want to know that what I did meant something.
Yeah.
I want to know that it meant something to this world around, right?
No, you. I mean, obviously, you've seen Death's Head's dead there, so you take out that entire facility, which takes out all of his research, which stops them from hopefully making machine men. I'm sure some of that research gets out there somehow when you can see what happens in the sequels. But yeah, I think this is a wonderfully paced game, especially with someone who doesn't like stealth that much, and you putting stealth in a boomer shooter, which can easily just be done either poorly, way too easily, or just be boring in general, or just really bad and really
Duke
tough. What was that?
I said looking at you, Duke Nukem.
No, yes,
like
for sure.
That,
yeah, so it's just you've shoehorning in different types of combat into a boomer shooter. When someone's picking up this game, they want to play Doom, they want to play Wolfenstein, they want to go through and shoot Nazis. But this one does it, I think, in a really well done way, to where it's like you go through that whole prison section, you're getting a whole lot of stealth stuff and sneaking around, maybe a little bit of fighting, but then you're rewarded with the giant, you know, mech that you're rolling around with and just gunning and hosing and shit down. I think they do really well with pacing that stuff as far as what's the slower sections, what's the faster, more bombastic sections, and really kind of paying you on that for doing those stealth in the slower sections. So I'm glad I got a little more feeling for the stealth. I think I'll do better in the next coming games, just kind of knowing how to do that. Like you said, Alex, I whipped out that pistol with a silencer on it. It made me feel much better going through, just going boom, boom, and just it felt so good when you clear out that room and you get that little stealth icon at the bottom and the music kind of fades away a little bit. Like, yeah, I still feel, even though I'm BJ and a giant dude, I still feel badass stealthily taking down this room.
Yeah, And people think like, oh, stealth is slow, and you're thinking like, you could still be fast and stealthy in this game. You still run around quick with that silenced pistol or with the throwing knives, just like pop, 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 pop.
Yeah.
Right? Like it's so fast,
and they're
but
not
it's
too
quiet.
restrictive on like, oh, I saw this guy down, because I definitely shot a dude. Another guy walks past, and it's a dead body, and he doesn't give a fuck. And it's like, thank you, game. Thank you for not taking this too seriously and just letting me have fun and kill these people stealthily. So I think this is a great surprise. Not a surprise because I've heard it's great, but like a surprise on how much better it is, even though people talk this game up for me. So I think this is a 5 out of 5. This is a great boomer shooter, knowing from like where that company was, where they are at now, still making another game with killing Nazis in it, or at least fighting Nazis in it with the Indiana Jones game. And then hopefully later on down the line, we'll get this final sequel, final of the trilogy. So loved it. And next time we will be going through, we're going to do this in timeline order of when they came out. So the next one will be Wolfenstein: The Old Blood. So
that's officially
which is
the
a DLC,
sequel, not the it's a deal, the spinoff. Okay.
Yeah, you can buy it separately, but it's supposed to be like a prequel, I think, to the New Order. So we'll be playing that. It's out of the timeline order of actually what's going on in the game, but like this is how it was released, and that's how we're gonna play it.
So it's like Spider-Man Miles Morales to the Spider-Man video game
2
on PS5. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
yeah, it's a great game.
The New Colossus is the one that's the second, like
Direct
the
sequel.
actual second game. Yeah.
Gotcha. Cool. All right. Well, that's that. Thank you for hanging out. Before we go, Christian, let us know what's coming next.
Yeah.
We are finally. It took us a full year, basically. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, no, because some of the enders happened just before it, so it wasn't technically a full year, but it was almost. But we are finishing off Metal Gear, so we are going to finally play Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance, the final game in the Metal Gear timeline. This is it.
Don't add.
This is the last thing that happens.
Yep.
Well, 5 is a prequel,
consoles?
so.
Oh, that's right.
What
5 is a prequel.
consoles?
Yeah. Fucking timeline. What's the game?
Yeah. Next is Metal Gear Solid 5, and after
Timeline,
that's Metal Gear
clones.
Solid.
They all look the same. Yeah.
Yeah, the next one after that is going to be Metal Gear Solid Death Stranding, and then the one after that's Metal Gear Solid Death Stranding 2. So
No, we're
so
not doing that. But
what are the consoles that people can find this game on?
you can find this on anything from a PlayStation 3 up. So PlayStation 3, Xbox 360, leading all the way up to current gen and PC. You can play that on. I think there's a Switch version. So
Probably.
that's why I think so. But yeah, so you can play it on there. But yeah, it's great on all those. There's no issues with any of it. I will more than likely I'll be playing the PC version because we have it on our Steam Family Share. But however you feel like playing it is totally up to you. You won't miss out on anything at all. And this will just be a 2-parter, so it'll be quick. So not our normal 4 or 5 part Metal Gear ones. This one will be quick. So we are going to finish mission 3. It's like Mile High, I think is what it's called. So there's mission 0, mission 1, 2, and then 3. You'll be finishing mission 3 and stopping there. And then the next part will be us just finishing the game. So we'll do that way. But yeah.
All right.
We'll be doing finishing mission 3 here, and we'll cap off Metal Gear.
And for people, I guess we could talk about it. Where does this fall in the timeline? Is this post?
This is the end.
Everything. Okay.
So after 4.
All right. Cool.
Yep. So this is post 4, and we are going to Raiden is going to be taking us out on this timeline. He'll be finishing here. And Alex, you've kind of played a game that has a similar setup to this, which is gameplay by Platinum, story by somebody else, and that is what happened here as well.
Okay, cool. Well, join us next week, everyone, as we dive into our first half, not even the first one, just the first half of that game. And let us know what you thought. If you have also played Wolfenstein, if you haven't played it, you should definitely go out and play it. It's worth a play. So thank you, everybody. Don't forget to check out Preston with the Star Wars Sundays. We are back on our normal schedule for the new year. So we will catch you next time. With that, Preston, you know what to do.
Yeah. Thank you for listening to another episode of The Testing Room. To catch up on past episodes or to check out the newest ones when they drop, follow us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your favorite podcast. If watching is more your thing, check us out on YouTube, youtube.com/@thetestingroom, or watch us live on twitch.tv/testingroomlive. To leave comments or ask questions, you can follow us on Instagram @testingroompod, leave a comment on YouTube, or send them in to testingroompod@gmail.com. See you next time.